Hi, it's Hazel, and welcome to my channel. By the time you see this, we will have completed the 100-day project, and honestly, I'm pretty proud of myself for the stick-to-itiveness and the discipline and the challenge of it all. Now, one of the benefits, I've said this before, but I'll repeat it. One of the benefits has been the commitment and discipline that it has required. So I'm going to, take a breather, and but I also don't want to lose the momentum that has been built up over the last, 3+ months. So what I intend to do today is show you what I'm doing to prepare for taking part in the Junk Journal July collaboration put on by Meg's Journals, or Meg Journals. And this is, I downloaded this yesterday, I guess. I took part, hit and miss in a previous one, and I forgot, until I printed this and sort of, glanced at it, I forgot just how open-ended and wide open these prompts are. So it will either have me tearing out my hair or being really stretched and excited by the possibilities. And I guess which of those remains to be seen. Now, I forgot to say welcome to my channel. And I forgot to say that if you are new here, then welcome. I hope that you find that the content and the delivery and the style and so on is something that you'd like to see more of, which would then naturally lead you to subscribe and would naturally lead you to giving thumbs up. I'm on the precipice. I'm closing in. I'm working my way to the 500 subscriber mark. And of course, all I can do about it is create the content and keep showing up, keep showing up, keep showing up. And frankly, the rest is up to you guys. So I really hope that you choose to subscribe. If you are already a subscriber, thank you so much. Your support has meant the world to me, and I love reading your comments. I feel like I've grown to know and really feel such fond feelings for you, especially when you get my sometimes offbeat sense of humor, even dare to tease me back. That, I mean, it's great. It's absolutely great. I just would like to ask that if the name that shows up doesn't indicate who you are, like what your first name is, then please sign your comments. I would like to be able to address you by your first name, and it just makes it a little friendlier, friendlier. Anyway, let me show you what I've done. Let me show you what I'm using. Now, if you watched Meg's video, maybe it was yesterday, she was showing you that she made up an accordion type journal, and it's pretty, it's small. But I know that one of my favorite things is collaging. So I'm looking at this challenge as 31 good reasons to collage. And so I wanted to go a bit bigger. And let me show you what I've got and what I've done so far. So I have, for the last umpteen years, like maybe 25, I have worked in elections, municipal, provincial, and federal. So I came across this this booklet that we would have gotten. That's the French side. The training booklet that we would have got when we did our in-person training. So it's coil bound. It's probably 8.5 by. Oh, I've got such a mess here. 3, 6, 9. Yeah, 8.5 by 11. I'm sure. So I'm not going to be scared by that size. So I think there are actually more pages in here than than are necessary for the month. So if I find, and again, okay, let me back up. All I did was throw down some papers with the intention of creating a base. And then, of course, each day as I work through the prompt, I will just build on it with some, fancier stuff. So I basically have been using anything that was in reach. And if it stood still long enough, I glued it down. So I've done both sides. I started at the beginning of the book, then I went to the end of the book, and I'm working my way towards the middle. Now, I don't think there will be anything very bulky done through the course of the month, but if there is, and I need to, rip out a couple of pages, I will. So I'll just kind of do a quick flip through. This was a cover page. This, and this were things that I had done in that video when I was using office supplies, like packages of stickers. This was a map from part of a map from a townwide garage sale. Now, you probably can't, maybe I could lift this up a hair, but then I risk exposing more stuff that you better not see. The inside of a security envelope, a scrap of wallpaper border that was kicking around, part of a title page. This, I don't even remember what that was. More sticker, more map. And I just thought, well, let me use these things up so that I don't have to handle them again. A couple of these cover pages sort of from a writing tablet. This was a sort of scrap paper, or probably the back of a big calendar pad that I was using to try out stamps. So there's that. This is a little bit of napkin that was glued to some kind of paper. Now, there isn't total coverage. You might be able to read through that. But again, I don't care because there'll be more layers added. Got a cup of hot water going here. French dictionary. This was a bit of, when you can buy those pads of, not pads because they're loose sheets, those 50 or 100 packs of sort of decorative paper that you can use if you're making invitations or sending out a letter or making a fake diploma or something. So this is a cloud one. Again, more of that map. This one is just all 3 different types of, or 4 different types of security envelopes. So that's nice and neutral. This obviously came off a package of paper. This was some packaging, I think, from a set of stamps. I don't know where this came from. This was gift wrap, some old book pages, scrap of music. Now this, these are turkeys. I can't ever see myself doing anything with a turkey thing happening. So I basically, and the other side was pumpkin. So I thought, well, I like these colors better. So I used that. Some pages out of a typing manual. This was a piece of origami paper. This was a piece of something that I had, some book pages that I had painted and stamped on. These are just cut-offs of some digital. Okay, and this is where, this was the one I was going to keep working on. But let's go to the back. More of that pad. Probably nothing here you haven't already seen. Oh, this was some stamping I had done on a book page. This was some instructions in French from, I don't know, some sort of supplies, scrapbooking supplies or something. This is from an A&W bag. Are these not cute? Cute, cute. Okay, so there's some A&W bag in there. I don't know. More of that same painted book page. Just a bunch of, or a variety of dictionary pages and other pages. And then this was something that I was playing around with. I don't know, I guess maybe just acrylic paint on some kind of pretty absorbent paper. A couple of guest checks I split up that had been avocado dyed. And so basically, I work on that one. I've got 6 more to go. So I might just count and make sure and don't waste time and supplies working on something that is going to probably make this book harder to close and to turn and so on. So I'll just work on this one because, and what I've been doing is putting a piece of parchment paper in between, like right underneath the page I'm working on, just so that there is, you know, no glue gobbing around the edges and, you know, possibly sticking something together that shouldn't be. Now these are in reverse because they are those iron-on transfer type things. So I have a bunch of those, some instructions. The pieces that I've glued down so far, this was just some delicate little stamping on some book page. So I kind of ripped it into 3 pieces. This probably, that's some sort of a digital. That might have been a freebie from Scrapbooking with Me. So I'm just going to glue this down. Typically, I would like a pattern to at least appear in 3 different places. So that's why I tore this down. It had all been one. And, you know, there is a fair bit of white space on each of these pages as well, plus some interesting colors. So it doesn't, you know, if I had to leave a little bit uncovered, that would be fine too. So I'll just plunk this one down in the middle and, you know, work around it. I'll add a few more of these words. They're actually the days of the week. I've been trying to stay about an 1/8 of an inch or so away from the coil, just because I think it would be kind of better to be a little consistent. So I'll just, and if I have to trim a little bit on the edge, I will. Of course, you're not going to see this on the day I'm taping it, but I was just in a neighboring town. I had to, the car I drive is a 2014 Toyota Venza. It's an SUV. And, you know, it has served us well, and goodness knows when you live in the country and need to travel somewhere for every single thing that you need or have to do, it doesn't take long for the miles to rack up. So I haven't even looked at the odometer lately, but, you know, Anyway, there started to be a noise kind of coming from the rear of the car. And, you know, when you have a noise in your car, you basically have two options. You can crank up the radio and make like you never heard anything, or you can try to get to the bottom of it. My husband's pretty, you know, capable and handy and, you know, can do a lot of things. So he kind of diagnosed it. He thought it was a bearing that was going in the rear axle. So it took a little bit of time to get an appointment, but got in, and today was the day. So I drove to the town. I pretty well was guaranteed that I'd get a courtesy vehicle to use because it was going to be in there for 3 or 4 hours. Oh, it's one of those things also. You know, it's like when you need a new hip. Probably the second hip is going to need replacing too, especially if you've been walking, you know, kind of cockeyed and compensating for years. Things, you know, tend to wear funny and wear out sooner and so on. Anyway, so the feeling was that, well, if we've got, it's the one side needed doing, but since, you know, it was going to be on the hoist and they were opening her up, might as well do both while we're at it. And that's why it was going to take as long as it was going to take. So I had a lot to do, and that was fine. I did get a vehicle, a truck from the place. And then, you know, kind of the time has come and gone. And finally I get the phone call. And the guy says, you know, there is something wrong. I've tried this and this and this and this, and it's not reacting the way it's supposed to. I think you need to go home with our truck, and we will get a new part tomorrow. It's probably a defective part. And, you know, I said, so otherwise you'd have to put it all back together and then take it apart again tomorrow. He says, exactly. That's why it just seems like a better idea for you to just take the truck home. So I thought, oh, brother, because I have, you know, a medical thing in Edmonton tomorrow. And so getting there to pick up you know, return their truck and pick up my car is not in the cards for moi. So I guess I'll be taking my husband's car, and he'll be the one. I hope he doesn't have anything on the go, because then we'll kind of have a problem. Yeah, so anyway, that's how my day went. I have to say, though, that I did go to a thrift store. I know, you're shocked, right? But I did go to a thrift store and scored a few things, so there will be a haul video at some point. But I did want to get this done first. Oh, and another thing that I'll be doing again very shortly, and I was saying that with the 100-day thing done, it's, you know, it's nice to have that pressure off, but I want to keep building on the momentum that and the discipline that has created. So I haven't figured out yet what will be like a reasonable video schedule to sort of, if not, you know, announce, then at least work towards in my own head. So the other thing that I need to do before the beginning of July is do the, let's hope I get this hashtag correct, Junk Journal Vision Board, I think. I did one in June. I just happened to have it here, in case you missed it. Kind of annoyed me that this, that this calendar, that it let go in the staples. But if you want to know the origin of it, or the person that I saw and followed, see behind here, is this a good one I can show you or not? Well, let's do this one. This one is a good one for sure. Grow my YouTube channel to 500 subscribers. That is definitely a pressing goal. There's another one there about Instagram. Yeah, some of these aren't exactly for public consumption, but they're things that I need to do to advance this endeavor. So anyway, of course, with a new month beginning, it's time for a new... Let's put another one of these in. It's time for a new... oh, why am I covering that up? I don't want to cover that up. That's beautiful. What am I trying to say? It's time for a new I'm using an old calendar as my sort of base document or base. I've done vision boards in the past, but they've been, on bulletin boards just with items pinned onto them or whatever, and but I don't really have that much wall space anymore, so Carrie used a calendar, so I thought, well, monkey see, monkey do. I can use a calendar too. And if the darn thing wouldn't have ripped off, I would be hanging that on my wall. I might have to add something else here because it doesn't seem like there's... Maybe I could add some music or something. Oh, while I was in this town with my car, I made it a point to go to the $2 stores, Dollarama and Dollar Tree. Well, would you believe, and this is the end of June, at Dollar Tree, they have their 2024-2025 calendars out already. I usually buy a few of these. I like the month at a glance. The squares are big enough that I can write something in, so this is what I've been using for my YouTube schedule. So basically sort of plotting out on, what video when. I have another one, so I bought several colors. I have another one that I always use for keeping track of my marriage bookings, because I think you may have heard me say that I'm a civil marriage commissioner, which means I can marry people. So it's good to have all of those kind of in one place as well. And then, just for $1.25 or $1.50 or whatever they cost, I just like to have a spare one or two on hand in case I have some other special project that I need to sort of keep track of. So I thought that was like, I thought they really broke the record on that, because my goodness, we're not even through we're not even technically halfway through. You know, 2023. But, you know, it's one of those things. You snooze, you lose. Oh, and I also buy, let me show you that too. I buy this purse-sized one. And I know that there are online calendars, but I still like paper. Month at a glance. I usually tuck a couple of checks in the back. I know, only dinosaurs use checks. Well, I'm a dinosaur. You know, that sort of thing. So maybe your Dollar Tree has. If you still use paper for any of this, maybe your Dollar Tree has its inventory out already too. I'm not sure what you can see, but I'm only doing this one page because I know you are perfectly capable of cutting, tearing, gluing, and you don't need to see me doing it. I'm just doing it so I have an excuse to talk to you. Anyway, I feel a little bit lost, to be honest, not having to do the 100-day project. So I'm going to need to kind of come up with a plan. I know that I've also fallen behind. Oh, was I going to use this origami paper too? I could finish off. Then I know I'm done with that as well. Well, let's put a chunk in here. Right in the corner. Nice thing about origami paper is that it's really thin. So it doesn't really add any bulk. But yes, I think what I'll do is count the actual pages. There are 31 days in July. So I should add that there maybe. See, this isn't quite big enough, but maybe I could just let that block show and cover it with something else when the time comes. Yeah, did you learn your months by that little rhyme? 30 days has September, April, June, and November. All the rest have 31, except February, of course. But surprising how some of those little school rhymes stick with a person forever. And then some of the bigger lessons, probably the more important stuff, gone like the wind. Maybe I'll use this vertically. See this, and I think I've said this before, it gives me immense pleasure to use something up completely. Oh, here's another piece. Different pattern though, so I can still be happy about using this up. Okay, kids, I'm going to stop there. I'll have to trim that off. So, again, I hope that you choose to take part in Junk Journal July. Oh, here's a little bit of something. Of course I'm going to use it. Because it's only 31 days. And we all love cutting and gluing. See, if somebody said, okay, we're going to do 31 different sewn-in bindings, then I could see people running, screaming from the room. But this way, collage, man, so much fun. So much fun. And you do get to, oh, have this too. I better use it up. You get, it's so much fun. Oh, and this. Sheesh. I wasn't keeping very good track of my bits here. Well, I'm not going to save these two, or this and this for another day. I'll just quickly slap it down there. You know, these fingernails. All my life I had weak, thin, puny fingernails. And then discovered gel nails and a really, you know, professional and conscientious shop owner. Very affordable as well. So I've been doing that now for years. And I always go with the French manicure, just a French, you know, French tip sort of, because I like to get my money's worth and stretch visits out, stretch my appointments out to 3 weeks. So if I had all the gorgeous colors that everyone else is wearing, then it would be pretty clear pretty quickly that, oh, it's time for her to get back to the salon. So most of the time you can't tell. I can't tell. I mean, obviously if I look I can tell, but I can get away with it. So they tend to get long, and then just after coming back, they're really short, and I can't pick a damn thing up. So anyway, what do we call that? First world problems? Forgive me for complaining. Okay. That's it. That's it. That's it. We will see you when we see you. I will continue. Oh, I should just put in a plug for some of the other things I'm doing. I still have the What's in My Bookcase series, where I feature books that I've either recently acquired or had forever and a day. Those get posted on Sundays. And I'll be doing the Junk Journal July. I'll be doing a video for the vision board thing. And then I'd better do some Etsy, like restock kind of things, and finish some darn journals and get them out there in the world. You know, it's, boy, are these long goodbyes or what? Is there something wrong with me? Like, so far, I haven't wanted to part with any journals. Like, I gotta part with some journals. So, anyway, that's my issue to work through. Thanks so much for joining me. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. Give me a thumbs up just to make my day. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys. Bye.